evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. Again, my name is John McCoy. I am the attorney for the applicant, 37 Properties. And I could sense that Mr. Tice was fired up and wanted to come up with waivers, so I was going to go first, but based on his hand signals, I let him state his piece, and he did quite a good job of that. Very briefly, you've got the memos. I think you've gone over all the points here Mr. McGilvery raised, but just very briefly. Mr. McGilvery, I think, did a good job for his clients because he was a bit of a master of misdirection, I think, on some things. This is a fairly straightforward process that has been around for 30 years, as Mr. Tice said. It's a three-step process. Conditional master plan approval, town council, preliminary. And I agree with what was raised here before Mr. Tice was speaking. The planning board looked at this and conditionally granted a density of 127 units, subject to the town council taking a look at that, either approving it or not. And then it has to go back to the planning board for another public hearing for preliminary and final. So this was a conditional master plan approval that was approved. And we always knew we had to go to the town council. I personally sent them that letter on November 30th, 2021 with the application for zone members of the council. We had to go to the council for density change over 98, for less than minimum commercial square footage, 23,000, that was what was required in 2008, and modification of the affordable housing code. We always knew we had to do those things, so there's nothing new. The reason why I had to file an amended, and I put in my letter on May 23rd this year, an amended town council application, because I had to do that because now we're only asking 127 units.
I'm sorry,
127 units. We no longer needed relief from the 10% public minimum institution requirement because part of the agreement with the planning board was to donate the Church Street lots, so we met the 10%. So I had to change that in the application. And the affordable housing code had changed what was originally proposed. So I had to file that amended application with the council. Did you get that correct? There were no plans changed after the April 14th hearing. What we sat and argued about, stood and argued about in this room on April 14th is the same thing that was approved and the same thing that the council was at. Plans didn't change at all. So I just want to be very clear on that.
So that amended application just conformed with the decision?
That's correct. That's correct. And just, this guy spoke about this at length, but I just want to reaffirm that, and I read the minutes again from the April 14th planning board hearing. When I was here before the planning board, I discussed the density requests in terms of infrastructure. There was no discussion whatsoever by either myself or the planning board members about gross floor area or how the units fit into that. It's all based on conditionally approving that 127 because of the infrastructure and support. And we had favorable comments on the infrastructure from Bristol Water Authority, the Sewer Authority, and the Technical Review Committee. So there was some initial approval. We still have to do a traffic study, which will come preliminary to support that infrastructure. So that's the way it was phrased there. There's no GFA calculations or anything like that. So I just want to talk about that too. The affordable housing component, Mr. Tice is right. I think Mr. Oliveira would agree. This is a specific, unique zone that was created by the town council. And say the town council could give it, the town council could take it away. They looked at this. They could have said no way to 127 units. They could have agreed 427 units. They went 127. In affordable housing, they decided to go 20%. But they still had the authority. They could have made it all feasible. They stuck with a hybrid, 10% actual units, 10% fee. But that was always within the purview of the law because they created this unique zone in 2008. So they are the ones that have the authority, which is why all the planning board could do was conditional master plan approval. So steps 1, 2, and 2 have been done. Step 1 was the planning board doing its conditional master plan approval. Town council has looked at this, done step 2. Now, we go back to the planning board for step 3, which is preliminary plan approval. And another public
I'm
hearing.
sorry, the steps are increased.
Step 3, the preliminary plan approval. And that's that's step 3. So it's not that complicated proceeding. It's 1, 2, and 3.
Could you speak closer to the microphone, please?
It's not that complicated proceeding. It's steps 1, 2, and 3. I think Mr. McGilvray is just making it more complicated than it really is. Mr. Tice did a great job of laying it out, but that's what's happened. The planning board was absolutely correct in giving that conditional master plan approval. Now, this appeal should be denied. The matter should go back to the planning board for final steps. But taking questions if you have.